whose district includes parts of San Antonio, Texas. Congressman Castro, thank you for being here. You were briefed by the administration on this new immigration policy. You issued a statement last week, and you called President Biden's new immigration policy inhumane. Why? And I asked that question after seeing the conversation that my colleague Gabe just had with that woman and her family there in El Paso.
I give the president, first of all, a lot of credit for taking on the issue of asylum and asylum seekers, and for actually trying to take action, and for going to the border and seeing the situation for himself. I think that takes a lot of political courage, because as you saw and other Americans saw during the run-up to the 2022 elections, the border and this situation was the #1 boogeyman for Republicans. So the president is going there for himself to see the situation. And I also give the president credit for doing things like trying to provide work permits to folks who are seeking asylum and wanting to come to the United States, for allowing them to apply from their home countries. But where my criticism lay is that the administration is expanding the use of Title 42 for people from a few more countries. Title 42 was put in place by the Trump administration during the height of the pandemic. It was spearheaded by Stephen Miller, and it basically kicks everybody out, expels them automatically under this idea that there's still a health emergency in place. And so it really is a disingenuous way to just immediately expel folks and threaten their ability to apply for asylum. There's also another problematic part of it, which is a transit ban. They're saying for a lot of these folks that as they make their way up to the United States to present for asylum, if they don't apply for asylum in one of the countries along the route, then they're going to be banned for a certain number of years from applying for asylum in the United States.
So Congressman Castro, your criticism of the policies are similar to criticisms that I've heard from other Democrats, frankly. My question is, what would you have the president do instead? And obviously, Congress has a role to play here. And do you think that this Congress, given the dynamics in the House of Representatives, is a Congress where we could get an immigration bill, a bipartisan bill?
Well, those are great questions. Number one, the Congress in December passed $2 billion to deal with the exact situation that the president is seeing in El Paso, Texas. So I think immediately what the president should be doing is making sure that money gets to places like El Paso and Del Rio and McAllen and Eagle Pass and other cities along the border that are facing this humanitarian crisis. So that's the immediate part. But there's also a longer-term solution here that really not many folks are talking about, and you actually alluded to, which is there are root causes to migration that we're not really dealing with. You need a kind of a Marshall Plan for Central America and other countries where you're seeing most of these folks come from. And until we can help build up and support their economies and help them rid themselves of the drug cartels that are threatening these people's lives and the economic destitution, you're going to continue to see migrants try to seek asylum. To your question about Congress, I mentioned the December appropriation, but let me be clear. Congress has failed for years by not fixing our broken immigration system. And Republicans are really the party that's mostly to blame for that. In 2014, the Senate passed with flying colors a comprehensive immigration reform bill, but John Boehner refused to put it on the floor of the House for a vote. And so we've never gotten close since then on comprehensive reform.
I think your point is that this is a large issue that is not going to be solved overnight, that has plagued many of Congresses, not just the 118th. Congressman Castro, I could speak to you all day long, but I know you have places to be, sir, so I appreciate your time today, and I hope you will come back to continue this conversation.
Absolutely.
Thank you.